Byron Tigers Soccer is on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here in Byron for a big Northern Conference showdown between arch rivals. The Stillman Valley Cardinals on the screen to our left, and your Byron Tigers wearing black to the right. It's the captain's meeting, which means that we're just about set to kick things off on this rainy, wet, chilly day here in Byron. As you can see, both coaches down there wearing the stocking caps, talking things over with the official, who is equally bundled up, as are we up here in the press box. Glad to have you along this afternoon. I was scheduled to do the PA for the track meet, which was canceled, which gives me the opportunity to be here and bring you the game live on YouTube. I encourage you to spread the word that we are indeed live this afternoon. Tell your friends, family, tell grandma in Florida, mom on a business trip. Maybe you were going to come out and you're halfway here and somebody texts you and say, hey, they're doing the game live. Wherever you are, we're glad to have you along. And we know that many of our watchers are friends of the program, including coaches and players who want to watch the game after the fact. So whether you're live with us or whether you're watching it later on, we're glad to have you along. Starters this afternoon for Byron. In the goals, the sophomore, first season in the net, it's Kenzie Lemke. Ava Salo gets the start, as does Macy Groharing, wearing numbers 2 and 3. The forward, one of the two, will be junior number 4, Aaliyah Roshai. Let's see if she and her counterpart, Bryn Green, wearing number 13, have their neon cleats, which makes it just a little bit easier to follow them on the pitch. Roshai and Green, the forwards. Claire Henkel, she's out there at the captain, in the captain's meeting, rather, number 5, as is number 8, Ella Haynes. Two very strong defenders getting the start this afternoon. Ashley Wickman, number 12. So glad to have her back in the lineup after an injury that knocked her out last season, the dreaded ACL. And she will be on the pitch wearing her knee brace. But we're very glad to have the sophomore, number 12, back in the lineup. Darlena Flores, watch for her. The savvy senior who does so much. Number 15, Darlena Flores. Ari Irvin is back. She was under the watch, the protocol for concussion, and she's back in the lineup as well. Number 25, Ari Irvin, the junior, and then Delaney Hennertz, number 22, the senior, will be out there for the Tigers as well. Conference matchup this afternoon should be a good one. Check in with me, by the way, in the chat. Friends, text me. Let me know you're listening. We'd love to interact with you during the broadcast. I'd also like to say, before we kick things off, that we're very glad to have the Byron Boosters as our partner, as well as Byron 226. But recently, our friends over at the Byron Boosters generously made a significant donation to our platform. So to all my friends with the Byron Boosters, we thank you. And I said last time, I don't know, I'm a movie guy, but I quoted Casablanca. I think this is going to be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. And honestly, the Boosters do so much, and we're very glad to have them. All right, the white jerseyed Cardinals of Stillman Valley, and all in black. Byron, the Tigers, taking the pitch and we'll be ready to get going here in just a moment. We'll swivel over to the left where we see Kenzie Lemke coming out. She's got the high vis on. She's wearing number 1, and she's got the pants on as well. And she asked Coach a while ago, these have been some cold, chilly, early season days. And she asked Coach, can I keep the pants on? And when you're in the goal, you can do that. We swivel over to the right. We can see Stillman Valley's half. And we're just about ready to go. Beautiful new press box here in Byron. We've done a couple of games up here already. We've done at least one on the road. And it's a great viewpoint to watch the game. Better yet, you at home on your couch or wherever you may be. All right, here we go. We're underway. Big Northern Conference soccer showdown between arch rivals. Stillman Valley on the attack into the area, deflected and knocked away. There's Ari Irvin. Does such a great job defensively. The ball boys will be hard at work today, not only tracking the balls down, but keeping them dry and cleaned off as that one sailed into the muck. All right, here is the set piece on the corner. Goes right through the area untouched. Stillman in control. Salo. But back to Stillman Valley. Here they go. A center. High off of Flores. No call. Thought maybe a handball there. Nothing doing. Play on, says the official, and then kicked out of bounds. Just below us. Stillman throw. Great job. Salo takes it away. Still a dangerous area, though. Stillman with the ball, but a Byron defender knocked it away. Still at the very top of that penalty box. Good defense. Close out there by Flores, not giving her any real estate with which to work. Salo, the midfielder, comes over now and knocks it ahead to the forward. That's Roshai. All Stillman Valley, though, so far, as they've controlled the ball nearly the entire time up to this point. A little bit of an ambitious ball on that far side of the field, sails out of bounds, and it'll be Byron with the throw. Ball carrying around there near midfield. Settled. Ooh, knocked away by Hennert. She wanted to clear it. There's Wickman. Wickman chips it off a Stillman player. Still nobody's ball, but Hennert comes over. She'll knock it forward. Yep, handball there. Coach barks out some commands to use your body and see if the Tigers can capitalize. Free kick here for Delaney Hennert. Let's see her send it into the area. Boom, right into the wall. So Karam's back. Haynes, the defender there, though, to offer some pressure. Chipped forward by Claire Henkel. Roshai. Both teams trying to establish possession. Instead, Stillman knocks it away. They've got a little something brewing here. Even numbers, Stillman in Byron. There's the stopper, Ari Irvin, who knocks it away. But that should be another corner kick to Stillman Valley. You can see the flag. It is a little bit windy. Not terribly so. And I can tell you, an hour ago, it was absolutely pouring. So still a little bit of a wet field. Into the box. No imminent danger as Claire Henkel knocks it away, but it's going to be another corner, I think, as it was on that goal side of the flag down there. It will be the third corner for Stillman. Ball's been pretty much on this half nearly the entire time. All right, here comes Stillman. Corner into a dangerous area, knocked away. That time by the offense, it'll be a goal kick to the Tigers. Hennert knocks it forward. There we go. Groherring to Flores. Ooh, there's a long distance shot just over the top of the goal. Lemke's an athlete down there. But had she been able to get the ball in the top portion of that net, it would have been a goal. There's Lemke. My point being, was she tall enough to jump into the air? She may have words with me later on that, but sometimes you sail one up high. We used to call it the upper 90 if you could get one up there. Sometimes you just go for broke and sail one up there. And tell you what, Delaney Hennard has done that a number of times already this season. All right, another corner. This one a good one. Uh-oh, Lemke got a hand on it, still plinking around down there, and finally Lemke corrals it. Great opportunity there for the Valley, but to no avail. Lemke boots one out at midfield. Offensively, a little something going here. Bryn Green tried to knock it forward. Instead, Stillman now back into the area. Lemke uncertain about whether to stay home. She does as Ari Irvin comes over to offer some pressure. Stillman ball. Again, dangerous territory here for the Cardinals. Into the corner. Knocked away. Salo thought maybe off Stillman. Instead, setting up a corner. I believe this will be the fifth taken already for Stillman. To the left of your screen, we can just see her. There it is. Oop, into the net. Oh, high off of Haynes and out of bounds. And it'll set up another corner. Again, it was close to a handball. Ooh, that far post was unprotected, but nobody home as it sails out of bounds. You can bend the ball from the corner. And that one sliced right through, but with nobody home, out of bounds. All right, Hennert will do the honors. Goal kick. How much time left, guys? 32 minutes left. So this is a beautiful new press box, and I mean no criticism, but they forgot to put a window on the south side. Maybe we can make one later on. We can't see the scoreboard is what I'm trying to say. So I'll ask the guys that are taking refuge up here in the press box, one of which is keeping the scoreboard and the others taking refuge from the cold. Let's see. There's six of them up here as we speak. That's okay. It's a good refuge from the cold and wind. All right, Stillman Valley. It's been all Cardinals up to this point. That's the thing about soccer, by the way. I'm speaking quietly now that like I'm at the Masters. But you don't have to necessarily maintain possession. You just have to score, right? And the Tigers could easily do so on a counter. At the same time, you don't want the ball down here in front of your own net for too long in a dangerous area. All right, this time the corner is a short one. Far sideline, chipped back, centered. Oh, a miss there by Arian. Dangerous. Irvin, I think she either whiffed on it or she elected to let it go back to the keeper. And I'm not sure Lemke was going to get to that far post. And it sailed out of bounds, luckily for the Tigers. All right, see, here's that counter we were talking about. There goes Roshai. Roshai had Wheeler if she needed her. Instead, went backwards towards Salo, stolen away by Stillman. Little cat and mouse there on the near sideline and finally out of bounds. Hainsey's going to have the throw. Ahead, Roshai. She does indeed have those high-vis cleats on, as we've come to expect. Ahead to Wheeler. Deflected away to the right. Something's going to happen. You get the feeling. Either team is poised for a goal in this 0-0 game here in Byron. Just about 15 minutes down in this opening half. All right, Haynes ahead. A little bit into the wind. Down at the feet of Roshai. Back to Hennert. Sailed one forward. Back to Hennert. She got it right back. A little boomerang action there. Center. Bryn Green. Not there. Hennert. Chipped ahead. There goes Groherring. Stillman Valley on the counter now. Nothing there for Byron. Stillman counters back and knocked away by Flores out of bounds. Told you that savvy senior, she had seen enough shenanigans and she just knocked it away. Meanwhile, Stillman throw. Okay, I think the guy down there is a ref. He's not wearing. Okay, I see what's going on. Guy's a ref, right? He's just not wearing. He's not wearing the. Okay, that's all right. Here comes Baxter, number 7. She'll replace Salo. She gets a breather. Ball just kind of plinking around down there on that far side of the pitch. Into the area, though. Stillman with the center. Thought maybe a back heel, instead back out. Stillman still with the ball. Right side. Into the area now. Good passing for Stillman Valley. Dribbling, top, and then knocked away. Again, the Tiger defender had seen enough, but Stillman doing a great job passing the soccer ball. Into the area. Another little mishit down there for the defense of the Tigers, but stolen away by Roshai. Roshai's time numbered here, as I overheard Coach Stabnum saying that Roshai will come out here in a moment. So she'll use every little bit of the energy she has left here before she comes out. Sailed through the area and harmlessly out of bounds, but many opportunities being created for Stillman, as I believe both Fuller girls in to replace Bryn Green and Aaliyah Roshai. Fresh legs for the Tigers. Addie Fuller, the senior, and Aubrey, the sophomore. And yes, they are sisters. Although I imagine anyone listening and watching likely knew that. All right, Stillman chipped it in. Ari Irvin again didn't get a good foot on it as it caroms out of bounds. And another corner. There's been well over half a dozen. I'm thinking 8 or 9 up to this point for Stillman. One of the more dangerous plays in soccer. They just have not capitalized. A good-looking one. Head ball just over the net. So Stillman with numerous chances. Not a single shot on goal, by the way, for the Tigers in this 0-0 game here with about 20 minutes down in the first half. Stillman throw-in, still in play. Into the area, nobody home there with a white jersey, knocked away by Byron. Cautiously, right? They had the numbers, did Byron, but cautiously knocked it out of bounds. Another ball to that far post and nobody home. Sailing one dangerously into the box. And for the Tigers, again, they live to fight on. All the way out, Hennert to midfield. Stillman, they'll send one in deep. Off the head of Airy. Lemke ahead. The ball is still loose. Chipped in wide of the goal. Stavdom wants to get Salo back in along with Green and Roshai. Very nervy first half here for any of you Tiger fans, as the Stillman Valley Cardinals have had numerous chances. Of course, in the game of soccer, does that mean that momentum favors the Tigers or Stillman, right? Stillman with many chances and nothing to show for it. It's just got to continue to trim the sails of the Tigers for the time being. And there's that counter. Here comes Byron ahead, dispossessed, still in play, and then right in front of our subs and out of bounds. So there's Salo, Roshai, and Green, the trio of juniors checking in. Salo ready to cook there into the area. There goes Roshai. And then out of bounds, I believe this will be the first corner taken now for the Byron Tigers. How much time, gents? 23? 23 minutes left. No score. Great opportunity taking shape here for Byron. Roshai tried the head ball, a little bit high for her. Chipped ahead to Flores. Green knocks it forward. Weak side. Nobody home and harmlessly out of bounds. So a goal kick now for Stillman. Truthfully, Stillman really has had the wind advantage. The wind blowing a little bit across the pitch, but at times south to north or right to left on your screen, favoring Stillman Valley. So that will play a little bit of a factor this afternoon as well. All right, sending one forward and then cautiously knocked out of bounds by a defender. Looking for Aaliyah Roshai there. Salo will do the honors. She's got Baxter to the left of your screen. You can see Hennert if she wants her, and then Green in the box. Throw in. Sails forward. Roshai, she's going to get a touch. Knocked it towards the goal, and then carrying out of bounds. Another corner kick being set up for Byron. Their second in as many minutes. It's deep. Back. Haynes. Ooh, good closeout by a Stillman player there. They won the ball there, and now Stillman on a counter, and this time a Stillman player loses their footing as Ariana Irvin does the honors of knocking it forward and out of harm's way for Byron. Nicely done. Threat not over, though. Here comes Stillman with numbers. Claire Henkel down there. Ooh, ball still in play. Stillman in possession with numbers. There's Hennert with it, though. Stolen away by Stillman into a dangerous area, but again, nobody there. So many balls in for Stillman, just nothing cooking. As we see Aubrey Fuller come back in now, replacing her older sister, Addie. No score, 0-0. Just about 20 minutes left in this opening half. It's been very exciting up to this point. A pitcher's duel, if you will. Stillman throw, chipped forward. Ooh, they've got a little something brewing. Great job dispossessing Claire Henkel. Knocked out of bounds, though, and it will be Stillman ball. A corner. They've had nearly a dozen. Last time, a ball right in front of Lemke, headed over the net. Let's see what Stillman does here. A very high ball. Once again, headed or perhaps kneed harmlessly out of bounds, and Stillman just can't get the ball in the net. Yeah, that was another corner. And Byron wasn't ready. And they'll get another one, will Stillman Valley. High ball, far post, still in play, and out of bounds. Should be a Byron throw. It is a little cold, and I think Coach Davenham is alert to the fact that some players need to lock in mentally, right? No criticism, but just kind of a cold, windy day. Then wants to encourage his players to kind of get their heads in the game a little bit. Flores back to Haynes. Nice job there by Hennert, deflecting it. There goes Salo. Knocked forward and out of play. And a Stillman substitution. Fresh legs for the Cardinals. All right, Delaney Hennert lines it up, knocks it forward. Head ball. Ooh. Like the physicality there by Baxter to Henkel. Let's see if this pays off as it's knocked out of play into the hands of Stavnum, and then Roshai looking as she tosses it in. There's another physical player in Delaney Hennert. Knocks it forward, caroming around. Roshai collected the ball at her feet and had it sail out of bounds. There's Hainsey again working on defense. Love it. Delaney, great job shielding the ball with her body, but still caroming back and forth, and then sent far forward for Stillman. Nobody there, though, but Ariana Irvin. There's the throw in. That's Salo working just below us. Ooh, Bryn Green had Aaliyah Roshai and tried to find her, but it was stolen away. Players for both teams do a great job of marking up on these throws and free kicks. Nobody left unmarked. Good battles going on. both at the micro and macro level, right? The teams, but all those little individual battles that you see down there, the girls that are guarding one another. Meanwhile, Stillman throw. Salo shielded the ball there and earned the throw in. Ahead to Roshai. Roshai ahead. Keep your eye on those high vis neon cleats of Roshai. And there's Bryn Green in your picture. Trying a little give and go. Roshai searching. There's the throw. Roshai into the area and then knocked away. The official points to the corner. All right, so good opportunity here, setting up for Byron. Hennert sails it. It's a goal! Goal, Byron! It was an own goal that went off the back of a Stillman player and into the net, and just like that, off the corner, Delaney Hennert's ball found its way home, and the Tigers lead it 1-0. And that will be disappointing for Stillman Valley after controlling the ball for the vast majority of this opening half. And we said it, you can score easily on a counterattack, and in this case, a set piece, as Delaney Hennert's ball caromed off a Stillman player at the far post and into the net. 1-0 is the score. Byron 1, Stillman Valley 0. How much time, guys? 14 minutes left in the half. It's been all Stillman, but it only took one, and the Tigers take the lead. That'll put some wind in the sails, right, on this chilly and cold day. Spread the word, by the way, if you're watching live. Let the family and friends know. All right, here's another corner. This one, a very one that doesn't really take flights. Chipped away, though. There's Roshai, one-timer, and it's deflected away by the defense. Byron's got a little something cooking now, a little momentum, a little mojo working here in Byron. Roshai tries to turn the corner, knocked away by the defense. Roshai ahead into the box, looking for Bryn Green. Green back to Roshai. Roshai sails one in off of a defender, still in play, saved, and then out of bounds. Roshai. Hennert sails one high into the air. Head ball. Darlena. Baxter. Peyton Baxter, the junior, with a goal earlier this week. Salo ahead to Roshai. Ooh, a little back heel. I love it. And then a chip shot by Salo into the area, but nothing there. Out of bounds, and I think this is going to set up another corner. Hennert scored last time on this side. Sends it in very high up into the wind. Head ball. Goal! You almost never see it. And a great looking ball from Hennert and a head ball. I think it was Aaliyah Roshai. Atta baby. So the dangerous set piece a corner. And I can tell you that Stillman has taken probably at least 10 more than the Tigers with nothing to show for it. Hennert sent one high into the air, and Aroshai got a head on it and knocked it in. And she'll be able to take a little breather here with Wickman coming back. Fun stuff. All right, 2-0 now. All the momentum, Byron. Remember, we asked that question. To whom does the momentum favor when you're a team that's enjoyed, I'm just going to make up a number here, but let's say about 80 to 85% of the possession, taken over 12 corners, but with nothing to show for it? My money was in favor of a momentum being on the side of the team that had continued to pitch the shutout against those odds. And Byron came back and scored 2 quick goals off of corners. That'll be Hennert. Knocks it forward. Out of bounds. Still in play. Knocked away towards the far sideline. Ooh, Henkel took a little tumble. She can watch that later on. I hope it came through, but the little forward somersault did Claire Henkel. All right, Stillman with the ball. Their fans in attendance trying to coax them on. Hennert working. Dispossessed by Stillman. Peyton Baxter. Stillman, though, knocks it forward towards the corner. Still in play. Backwards pass. And that a baby Salo. Salo comes on and knocks it forward. Good ball movement there by the Tigers. Knocked away, Haynes. Stillman. A little sense of urgency, again, after controlling the ball for the vast majority of this first half until recent minutes. Hennert forward. Green looking for Wickman and then out of play. Stillman throw. There's Ava Salo playing with authority this afternoon. Into Wickman. Back to Baxter. Baxter searching. Girls calling signals to one another, communicating if they're open. Hennert ahead to Wick. And then high into the air, taking a bounce and then sailing across the line. All right, Delaney Hennert. Salo a little shaken up as she comes out. Meanwhile, Hennert throwing ahead. There's Groharing. Groharing had a touch on it. Oh, great job by Henkel over there trying to maintain possession. But it's Stillman now sending one forward. Yeah, Coach Stavenham trying to get Baxter to drop there with that player. And the ball sent now in her direction. Haynes was there, though, to offer some defense. Throw in. There's Baxter. Looking for Flores. Stillman with the ball, though, sailing it forward. And there is Lemke to draw it in. Nice job there by the sophomore. Not a ball with much pace, but Lemke did the job on a wet pitch. Knocking it forward again, and once again into the hands of Lemke. Ooh, Lemke, a little bit of a miss hit there on the punt. No damage, though. as Byron quickly gains possession. How much time, gents? 7 minutes left in this half. Ooh, there's a shot cleared away by Ariana Irvin. There's Baxter. All right, handing off the camera now. Stillman Valley with the throw in just a moment after a substitution. Knocked away and out of bounds by Flores. Should be a Stillman throw. Into the area, off of Henkel. Henkel got a body on it, still caroming around down there and out of danger back to about midfield. Stillman, though, working. They had possession, I'd say for about the first 25 minutes. I would not be surprised if they didn't have possession for about 85% of the first 25 minutes of this ball game. But now Byron has the lead. Proof of how quickly things can change. Tigers lead at 2-0 as we approach the 5-minute mark. Just about 5 minutes left here in this opening half. By the way, this is indeed a conference matchup, right? And not only that, but two teams that are pretty evenly matched. And of course, bitter rivals. Ooh, there's a ball high and sailing over. Tell you, there's that ball that had the bend on it, right? Slicing back towards the goal. Would have been a difficult play for Mackenzie Lemke. But sailing harmlessly over the net. Let us know where you're listening from, by the way. We always like to hear if it's grandma out of state or a parent on a trip, or maybe it's just too cold for you this afternoon and you're home on the couch. Maybe you're here in the car listening to the game while you watch it live through the window, as are we up here in the press box. I think there's like 9 or 10 of us now, everybody trying to take refuge from the wind. They canceled baseball, canceled softball, canceled track. Is that true? They said lanes 1 and 2 were underwater. Yeah, a couple of track athletes up here. And to be honest, at about 3:30, I thought to myself, "Ooh, it's going to be a tough game," as it was literally pouring down here in Byron. But they checked the weather and saw that there would be an opening, and it's a wet field, but really no rain. All right, waning moments here of this opening half. Byron, let's see if they can punch one in and improve their lead. Currently, Byron 2, Stillman 0, with Ava Salo out at midfield waiting to check back in, and there she goes. Number 2, Salo, in for number 10. That's Addie Fuller. Coach Carter is listening in. He's back inside. He does a great job in our community coaching lots of different age groups. So Coach Carter says he's listening in while they get set for everyone's favorite day of youth sports, Picture Day. Ranks right up there with Uniform Day. I'm thinking more like a coach. I think the kids love getting the unis, but the coaches, Picture Day and Uniform Day, maybe not so much. How much time, gents? 3 minutes is all that's left here. Byron, ball in the area. There goes Salo cooking. Dispossessed by Stillman. Turned ahead and then chipped forward. Nobody there. Ari Irvin. Oh, there goes Claire Henkel. I think there's going to be a foul on the Stillman player there as Henkel hit the deck. No malice. No malice, but Claire Henkel hit the deck. And I forgot my conversation with Coach Carter's spouse that says, hey, if Brad is ever checking in, it's probably me. It's Mrs. Carter. Hey, we're glad you're along. And as I look out, I was thinking Brad was here. There he is. I could see him, along with Coach Penrod and Coach Stavenham, all wearing their stocking caps just down below us. All right, we got to be getting close to the end of this half. Byron defensively will settle back and protect their goal. Stillman with the free kick here. Sending it forward into the box. Dangerous, untouched, and then finally back to Lemke, the sophomore keeper, who handles it. And you got to believe that's the end of the threat there with not much time left. 1:30. It's 90 seconds left in this half. Stillman still working, though. There's the ball loose. Ari Irvin, stopper, defenders, midfielder, and Groherring over there to offer some support. Down to about a minute left now. Stillman with the throw. The white jerseyed Stillman Valley Cardinals trying to get on the scoreboard, chipping it back towards the corner. Groherring chews up a little clock by sailing it out of bounds. It sets up a Stillman throw. Cardinals working. Hennert's going to be able to clear it. Hennert knocks it forward. Back to a defender. There's Hennert again. She's got some time, so sizes things up, knocks it forward, and then out of bounds. It should be Byron ball. Time waning here in this opening half. Hennert sails one forward on the throw. There's Groherring into Roshai. Last effort here for the Tigers. Final seconds of this half. We're listening for the siren. Hennert knocks one forward and sailing to the right of goal. Just about 10 seconds left, and that's time is going to expire. I would be surprised if Stillman even takes the goal kick. There is that aforementioned siren. And I tell you what, folks, very exciting opening half here in Byron in this conference rivalry matchup. First 20 to 25 minutes, it was all Stillman. I have no data, no quantitative data. I've got the qualitative data of my eye seeing that Stillman controlled the ball for like 85% of the first 20 to 25 minutes. But as we mentioned, it's all about the counterattack. And it wasn't a counterattack, though. It was a set piece. It was the corner kick. Delaney Hennert sailed one in. And she'll be credited with the goal, although technically an own goal, off the back of a Meridian defender and into the net to make it 1-0. And then not long after, from the exact same corner, it was Hennert once again who sailed one high into the air. It came down, and I have yet to see it in high school soccer. And if I have, it's been many a year. But a goal scored on a head ball. And Hennert got the assist as her shot from the corner went into the air. Roshai knocked it in for the clean goal to make it 2-0. And that's where things stand here at halftime. We'll keep the camera on, but I'm going to take a quick break. You can too. Grab a Pepsi. Do what you got to do. But in a few minutes, join us for this very exciting soccer matchup between these bitter conference rivals as we're getting set for the second half. At halftime here on a cold, windy, and wet day in Byron, it's the Byron Tigers 2, the Stillman Valley Cardinals nothing. We'll be back for second half action after this on Byron Tigers Live. Yeah, it is. But you got to go to Byron Tigers Live. No, just Byron Tyler's live.
We got kicked out.
I turned it off. On just crowd noise. So like they can hear the girls or they can, hear the coach and hear staff and yelling. You guys get in trouble.
Yeah.
Did you hear? Jordan kicked the ball and I was going.
Was this right at you?
So
I kicked you out of it. No more shenanigans.
I don't know if it's kind of.
What'd you say?
You got nothing.
Huh?
You got nothing Mondays.
Nothing Mondays.
Or is that just a bad?
That's just a bag.
I want nothing fun. Too bad. It's mine now. I don't know if it is. No score. No score. They said you go. Trust the part. How long you been? I can mean this out of the change. Yeah. I can mean this out of the year.
All right, I'm going back, guys. All right. How much time does it say? Yeah. All right. We are back here in Byron, where the Tigers lead the Stillman Valley Cardinals by a score of 2-0. I'd like to thank my student cameramen this afternoon, Easton Burris and Zeb Gatir. Byron scoring twice in that first half on set pieces, both corners. Delaney Hennert, the assist on one, a head ball. The second goal knocked in by Roshai, and then Hennert knocked one off the back of a defender and into the net to score the first. And Susan Henkel's listening in. Grandma in Sublet. That's awesome. We're glad to have you. Claire's doing a great job. Number 5, the senior, Claire Henkel. Pretty much the same lineup to start the second half as did the first. In goal, Kenzie Lemke, Ava Salo, Macy Groharing, Aaliyah Roshai, the aforementioned Claire Henkel, number 5. She's on defense along with Ella Haynes, number 8. Ashley Wickman, Bryn Green, Darlena Flores, Delaney Hennert, and Ariana Irvin for Byron. Knock towards goal, far post. Nobody home. Although it did look like, Aubrey Fuller, number 21, she got the start here in the second half. She was in the area, just not able to punch it in. Would have been a left footer had she been able to do so. All right. Goal kick stolen. Green over to Salo and then knocked away. Now the wind, although it's not as strong of a wind as normally impacts a game, but it is slightly a crosswind and then slightly to the north, so right to left. That'll favor the Tigers in this half. At least the flight of the ball, right, is it's knocked away down there on that far sideline. No rain, although it poured earlier. About an hour before game time, it was pouring here in Byron. Canceled baseball and softball. Canceled the track meet. Soccer will play at just about anything except lightning and thunder, right? And I can report that the middle school track meet is still on as well. It's not here. They're on the road. But the middle schoolers are still competing. There's Bryn Green, left foot, shot. Not a whole lot of pace on it, and taken in there by the keeper for Stillman Valley. She punts it forward. There's Roshai working. Out of bounds. Last touch by Roshai. Stillman Valley throw in. There's Roshai. Got it back quickly for Byron. Good passing now to Hennert. Knocked it forward. She's got Wickman. It's a foot race. Wickman and keeper. And the keeper wins the battle of the ball. Dangerous. Missed opportunity there for Byron. I paused for a moment because one of my students this afternoon brought up the movie Top Gun. And when I said the word dangerous, I thought of the recent and dearly departed Val Kilmer, Iceman, right? Who said the famous quote. I'll let you see if you can think of it before I say it. Meanwhile, looking for that far post, Aubrey Fuller. It was Iceman Val Kilmer who told Maverick, "You're dangerous." And we lost Val Kilmer, a great actor, at least for those Gen X guys like myself. We were sad to see Val Kilmer pass away recently. So many great characters. Tombstone, Doc Holliday in Tombstone. In the first movie I saw him in back in the 80s, I'm going to pause and let's see if you can think of it. I sometimes get the names mixed up. Not Real Science, right? But I think Real Genius. Anyway. Glad to have you listening, and I love when you check in. Mrs. Carter checked in with us earlier, who's orchestrating some pictures indoors for the local youth soccer. We've got Mrs. Henkel. Susan, I'd like to call you Mrs. Henkel. It's Claire's grandma listening in from Sublet. Oh, and she gives us a nice compliment, says, great to get such good coverage. We appreciate your kindness, and it is fun. And I'd also like to shout out the Byron Boosters, who very generously recently at their meeting elected to give us a generous donation so we can upgrade our equipment. And that'll be exciting. So thanks also to the sports well, sorry, I tried not to say that. It got in my head, not the sports boosters, because they're not just here for athletics, but the Byron Boosters, which do a great job of supporting our main characters, the students, in lots of different endeavors. So we thank them. No scoring here in this second half. Stillman controlled the ball in the majority of time in that opening half, but 2 set-piece goals for Byron on corners. Oh, and a Stillman player bites the dust and I think earned a free kick. You see Kenzie Lemke there, top of your screen, wearing the neon green. She's our goalkeeper. Byron setting up a wall. Hennert, Fuller, and Flores, and captured easily by Lemke, the sophomore keeper. She boots it forward. Aubrey Fuller trying to shield the ball from the player, and we can see Grandma Henkel. There's Claire ready to check back in down there. You saw her briefly a moment ago. She's on the sidelines at midfield, ready to check back in. Meanwhile, Stillman, good spacing, good passing as they switch fields. A long pass all the way to the far side of the field to no advantage as Groherring comes over to Salo, dispossessed. Stillman. Instead, Flores knocked it away. They're going to send one ahead. 1-on-1, Roshai defensively knocked it away. Carlin that's Mrs. Dale. She's able to watch from the warmth of her home. His daughter Kalia is here in person, suited up for the Tigers. All right, both goals scored from this very point. It's in the area, and I think it's going to be a handball against Stillman Valley. Luckily for the Byron Tigers, of course, a handball in the box against Byron would have set up a PK, a penalty kick, right? And in this case, earning a free kick from the spot. Anyone listening, we'd love to hear you check in. Now, you don't have to. I have been familiar with YouTube over the years, right? And you always hear them say subscribe or like. You can do that if you'd like. We like our subscribers because it helps build the platform, but I think most of those guys that you see on YouTube that ask you to hit subscribe or like, they've monetized their platform. We're just trying to spread the word. But it also is enjoyable for the broadcast to interact with our viewers. So let me know where you're listening and watching from. All right. Good defense by Byron, sending it forward towards the sideline, out of bounds. Stillman with the throw here. Carrying around. Stabnum trying to call out some commands to his players, encouraging them, placing them strategically. I like what I'm seeing here. Roshai has kind of come back into a little bit more of a defensive position, normally a forward. Oh, and the whiff there, and Delaney Hennert cleans up and knocks it forward for Byron. But we're seeing Aaliyah Roshai out there helping out more in a protective posture all the way back on defense. Watch for her with neon green cleats. It's usually the pink cleated Bryn Green and Roshai at the forward position, but Aaliyah Roshai with the 2-0 lead. There she is, knocking it forward. See? Stabnum electing to use her more in a defensive holding position here. Meanwhile, there's Aubrey Fuller, who's gotten some good time in the second half up high in the lines at the forward position. Rich Wessel listening in from the friendly confines up in Roscoe. Hey, Wes, good to see you, buddy. Or good to hear from you. All right, there's Delaney Hennert. Still working. Knocks it left, Fuller. Tigers with the 2-0 lead, patiently letting this play set up. Stolen away, though, and knocked forward. Stillman Valley ball. Numbers coming back defensively for Byron, and Stillman threat not completely eliminated. And a shot attempt high and wide, sailing into the row of cars down there. We're switching out cameramen here. Zeb is going to take it over again. That a baby. All right, we've got two student camera operators this afternoon in Easton Burris and Zeb Gatier. Our vision is to have students take over every aspect of production, including my job. Doing the play-by-play and the color commentary. So we didn't wait for the conditions to be perfect to start this platform. We just had an idea, and we did it. I pulled some old equipment out of storage. I don't think I had used my camcorder in years. I wasn't even sure if it still turned on. So we've gotten this Byron Tigers Live launched, and we're going to have so many cool things coming in the near future. Replays. So, for example, it would have been awesome to see the 2 goals scored, maybe a halftime show, right? Rewatch some of the great moments of that first half. On-air graphics, Mr. Wessel's listening, who does a great job with our students. Entrepreneur education. How cool would that be to have some of our students take over sales and marketing, get the community involved? That last goal brought to you by, and so forth. And of course, thanks to the Byron Boosters, recently a very generous donation to help us start upgrading some of our equipment. So glad to be partnering with all of you watching, members of the community, and of course, the main characters, as you can see on your screen, are our students themselves. 2-0, Byron in the lead. Scoring on corner kicks both times. Delaney Hennert knocked one in off the back of a defender, and then a few minutes later sent one high into the air, and Aaliyah Roshai knocked it home on a head ball. As I was saying earlier, haven't seen that in a long, long time in high school soccer. You see it often. I'm watching the professional. I'm watching the football, pretty regularly. It's my Tottenham Hotspur. In fact, they won today to advance, I think, to the semifinals of the Europa League. But anyway, we see it often in the professional ranks, but not as often a head ball goal scored in high school. Meanwhile, Stillman sending it in. Fuller knocked it away, used her body. Stillman Valley, though, dispossessed. There's Roshai out of nowhere. See, that's why Stavenham has put her back in that defensive position. But on the wing, look at her cook. Roshai, a self-pass. Roshai into the area, still working. And a defensive player had to knock it harmlessly away as Aaliyah Roshai went to work down there. And I love the strategy. You can take a player that plays on the wing, a defensive player, but you can get her up high down the sidelines. And that's what Roshai did. And now she's planted firmly back near the area, ready to score. Roshai back to number 2, Ava Salo. Opportunity there, but deflected away and out of bounds. It should be a corner. Ava Salo, by the way, a junior, does a great job for us. And her dad, a fireman, was working a shift a couple of weeks ago on a Friday night, was able to listen in. And of course, I'm thinking that's Friday here. It's Thursday. Byron students entering this Easter weekend got a couple of days off tomorrow and then again on Monday. All right, ball sailing dangerously across the goal, but then harmlessly out of bounds for a Byron throw. Okay, they're setting up a corner kick. The official has asked to reset up a corner. We'll take it. And Delaney Hennert, we've already scored off of 2 Hennert corner kicks. Oh, ahead of Roshai again. It's in! Goal! Aaliyah Roshai. For the second time today off a corner, Roshai knocked it in on a head ball. I love it. Roshai, it's a thing of beauty. Ball sailed high into the air. And, well, the officials are talking things over. Zeb Gatir, good camera work there, pointing out the officials are locked in conversation. I think the goal stands. I'm not sure what the conversation was. And although I know the game very well, I can tell you that I'm mystified by why the Tigers got to take another corner. We'll see if we can figure that out. What's that? Too many people, too many players on the pitch. All right, there goes Fuller. A little spring in the step now with the Tigers with their third goal. Oh, ahead, there's Wickman. Wickman looked for that upper 90 corner, didn't she? But sailed it a little bit strongly and into the woods. Wickman with a lot of pace on it and just missed the mark. That would have been awesome. Meanwhile, it remains 3-0, and Stillman with the goal kick. Peyton Baxter let it sail out of bounds there on that far side. Here comes Hennert. Hennert will do the honors on the throw. Forward. And Stillman returns the favor there, shielding the ball and letting it sail harmlessly out of play, setting up another goal kick. 3-0 Byron. Gents, what's the time? 21 minutes left in the second half and the game. Tigers looking to win a ball. Pass forward on the goal kick. There's Roshai. Fuller in your picture. Roshai had her hands out saying, hey, cut me some slack. Anyway, Byron ball. And Claire Henkel sprinted towards the near sideline. Diane Wheeler listening in. Yeah, isn't this cool? I think everybody's going to enjoy the opportunity to watch. And so we're setting this platform up on our own. I won't say we're in competition with the NFHS, but that's behind a paywall. Our goal is to make this absolutely free and easily accessible, right? So, but yeah, it's a great option, especially on a cold day like today. All right, things getting a little chippy down there. All right. The Byron staff and fans didn't like the call. Okay, so the kick caromed right into the Byron wall, so they'll move them back. This official he'll measure. All right, so to the right of your picture, you can see the Byron wall. Kind of center of your screen, you can see that Stillman is attempting a free kick. Ooh, just beyond that far post. Good pace on it. Lemke was there, though, and watched it sail harmlessly away to set up a goal kick. Hennert. Little sign of life here, though, for Stillman. As Hennert got it back and knocked it forward. Little Bronx cheer on the sidelines there in celebration of Ella Haynes, who knew that she had mishit one, and some of her teammates were razzing her a little bit in a good-natured way. As Claire Henkel below us and to the right will toss it in. Looking for Aubrey Fuller. Tell you what, these Tigers are well coached. Little nuances of the game, protecting the ball. Similar to a box out in basketball, right? Throw in. Stillman. Off the hand of Bryn Green, no call. Back to Flores as the officials let him play to the advantage. But then down the far sideline, there goes the junior Baxter. Baxter backwards to Haynes, and Haynes knocks it forward. Salo, Hennert, Bryn Green got ahead on it. And then Fuller trying to close the angle and instead back into the center. Here comes Stillman. Byron playing with a 3-0 lead, so they can send all the cavalry back defensively, right? Oh, a yellow card. We don't see that very, very often. And I, knowing Darlena Flores, she won't be disappointed. That'll be a badge of honor for Darlena, who's always happy, by the way, when she hears that we're doing the game. She won't mind getting the yellow, although perhaps the injustice of it, right, is something that might bother her, if indeed she felt it was unwarranted. Meanwhile, Stillman trying the far post. Ooh, the ball's still in play. Lemke tries to get a hand on it. And she corrals it. Does Lemke, assertively, the goalkeeper of the Tigers. To the celebration of the fans, as you can see there on the far side of the pitch, and her teammates. Nicely done, Lemke. Meridian with the ball, late stages of the game, sending one forward to the Cardinals and harmlessly out of bounds. Hey, gents, how much time? 15 minutes. And again, I'm asking the guys that are taking refuge up here in the press box, one of which is working the scoreboard. We got to figure out how much time is left, because one thing they didn't do up here in this beautiful new press box, and if you're familiar with Byron, you've likely driven by and seen it, but they didn't put windows on the south side of the press box. So we can just barely see the corner of the field, but we absolutely cannot see the scoreboard. And I think we can make that happen later on. You can always make a new window, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Milburn gets that taken care of. Hennert sends it into the box. Knocked back to Salo. Salo working. And then out wide to Baxter. Baxter, the junior. Dispossessed by Stillman. Here they come. And here comes the cavalry. You'll see them coming into your screen. A host of black jerseyed Byron defenders now. Into the area, Lemke wisely comes out. Corrals it. Brad Ocker, a great supporter of all things Byron, is watching from the middle school track meet. Is Brad always wanting to support the grandkids, one of which is playing in the game right now, and Lily Wheeler. I know Brad's grandson Weston features for us in baseball, and he's likely watching his other grandson at the track meet as Stillman tries once again that upper 90 and a goal elusive up to this point for Stillman Valley. And you got the feeling that Stillman just had to score in those first 20 minutes or so when they had all the momentum. The wind at their backs, both literally and figuratively, had over a dozen corner kicks, but the momentum shifted back in favor of Byron because defensively, Byron wouldn't let him score. And still have not done so this afternoon. Again, the Tigers maintaining a 3-0 lead as Macy Groharing pops over. You can always see Bryn Green with the neon pink cleats, or boots as they call them in the European soccer I love to watch. There's Roshai with the neon green boots. Oh, I think Groharing's got the neon. I don't know if her entire cleat is, or maybe just her. She's got some neon out there. Does Macy Groharing in your picture, number 3? Stillman running out of options and running out of ideas and time. Throw in Stillman. You could always try that in pickup games, right? You're playing cards. People aren't paying attention. You can steal the deal. Steal the deal. I don't know if Stillman tried it there or just weren't sure. But anyway, it was a Byron throw, and Roshai does the honors. Ooh, knocked away by Roshai. Roshai with 2 goals today, both via the head ball. There's Macy Groharing. Oh, I thought that was a self pass. Instead, looking for Lily Wheeler. Brad, there's your granddaughter down there. Brad, don't know if you can hear me or if you're outdoors at the track meet. Maybe you can just barely see us on your screen, but Lily Wheeler doing a great job. As Delaney Hennert now will throw it in. Oh, there's a whistle. Official says wait for the whistle. So Byron just a little ambitious trying to get it in. All right, here we go. Back to work. Hennert into the area. Knocked back and then harmlessly out of bounds. Hennert will try again. Into the box. Wheeler's there. Ball at the feet. Knocked away by the defense. The white jerseyed Stillman Valley Cardinals tried to knock it up the pitch, but instead Claire Henkel thought otherwise and tapped it away. Ball just below us now. Still in play. Henkel comes over. Knocks it away. A little sheepish grin there for Claire. And substitutions coming in back to work for Stillman Valley. When you've got a lead in soccer, time is on your side. You don't need to push things. Of course, we fans, grandpas and grandmas and moms and dads, we would like to see him keep the pedal to the metal, but let's see if Wickman does just that. Sends it in on a great center. Little heavy touch there for Salo, but maintaining possession are the Tigers as Hennert goes down, carrying directly into a Stillman player. Hennert will take the free kick, sends it in, and goal! Oh, are they going to scratch this off? Hennert took the free kick. It went into the net. There's Stavnum perplexed. And they're going to scratch this off, as we say in soccer. The official's down there talking things over, and he said he had not given the signal to take the free kick. And so scratch off the goal by Hennert. She already has 2 assists and the opening goal, and that would have been a 4th goal for Byron. But instead, the official, they'll chalk it off, as they say. That allows, Stillman to set up the wall, and this time Delaney's kick just a little bit high, and you can tell from her body language that she is none too pleased with the officiating. Meanwhile, Stillman with the goal kick. Not a very deep one. There's Groharing. Groharing tried the right side, nobody home. Heavy touch from Hennert. Found Wickman, though, or I should say in the vicinity of Wickman, and then knocked away. Time, gents? 8 minutes? Yeah, so under 10 minutes left. Byron in the driver's seat in this one, leading 3-0. There's the throw in. Hennert, let's see if she sends one in. She does. Great looking cross. Nobody home. Off a defender, but there's Groharing. Nifty little pass ahead to Salo, however, just a bit strong. Ball now at the Tiger Paw at midfield. Henkel, a fine defender, working. Sends it out of harm's way, but then back to work goes Stillman. And then, Henkel sailed it away again. There's Wickman. Hennert ahead to Salo. Good passing for Byron. Stillman with a little something going here as Haynes hit the deck. She's fine. Salo, far side, offering some pressure. Instead, a center into the box. And then I believe knocked away down there, I think, by Haynes. And a trio of Byron juniors set to check back in Baxter, Green, and Kalia Dale. Carlin Dale, Kalia's mom, is watching this afternoon from the comfort of her own home, and she'll be pleased to know that Kalia's in. All right, corner. Knocked away. Ariana Irvin. she knocked it away in out of bounds to set up another corner. You can see the wind kind of whipping down there. Oh, Hennert off a Stillman player and out of bounds. Delaney will knock it forward. Ooh, all the way back. Let's see if Byron can get something going. There goes Dale. Another foot race with the keeper. Picked up by the Stillman goalkeeper. Groharing wins the ball. That's what I love seeing. Despite the 3-0 lead, Byron doing a great job staying hungry. And I guess you think about the opponent being your arch rival, the Stillman Valley Cardinals. Easy to get up and stay up for a game against your nemesis. Henkel working. Oh, that's off Stillman. Yep. Should be off of Stillman. There we go. Ella Haynes thought better at taking the throw in. Instead, Delaney Henner. There she goes. Does Delaney. All the way forward. There's Kalia. Knocked away. So we got Dale down there, Bryn Green, Macy Groharing, Delaney Hennert, Salo, Baxter, Henkel, everybody up. The line is high here for the Tigers. Haynes, Aaliyah Roshai, the only one back at the other side. Well, as I say that, even Ariana Irvin steps across midfield. We got 10 players down on this side of the pitch for Byron. Only Lemke back. Defender knocks it away. Still a loose ball. There's Henkel, who got high up the pitch. A defender trying to see if they can punch one more in the waning moments of this conference rivalry matchup, with the Tigers ahead 3-0. Time, gents, 3 minutes. Byron in the lead, 3-0. Stillman with the ball, trying to break the shutout. Lemke and the defense of Byron trying to maintain what we call in soccer the clean sheet. Baxter ahead. Ooh, good looking pass there. It's Bryn Green in a foot race. Tries to establish her position there on the pitch and earns the throw in. Kalia Dale back to Bryn. Player goes down, no call. Player's down again. Incidental contact, nothing doing there as the ball sails backwards towards midfield. Aaliyah Roshai knocks one in and out of bounds, and they'll chew up a little bit more clock. Hey, if I haven't heard from you on the chat, I'd love to see who you are and where you're watching from as we kind of close out our broadcast. Down to about 2 minutes left. Heard from Mrs. Carter, Mrs. Henkel, Grandma Henkel, that is, as I'm sure Cammie is here on site watching. Mrs. Dale, Carlin, Rich Wessel, Diane Wheeler, and Brad Auker. Stabnum still calling out signals. Wants his team to finish strong in this rivalry conference matchup, knocked away by Groharing. I hadn't checked my phone for a while as Lemke collects the loose ball. But we were talking about Ava Salo, of course, our fine junior player. And it was a couple of weeks ago that Dad Andy Salo was watching from the fire station, and he's doing so again this evening. Mr. Salo, glad to have you along from the comfort of that 70-degree and very dry firehouse. Salo, what you having for dinner tonight, buddy? I was in Felkers the other night, and all the boys from the Byron Firehouse came in, get their dinner. Not necessarily a healthy one. Every last one of them had some ice cream. Must have been ice cream night at the Byron Fire Station. So, Salo, I hope that you enjoy your dinner, working your shift in Schaumburg. And it'll be a good start to the evening as the Tigers will defeat Stillman Valley in this conference matchup. And there's the siren. And you can see the Tigers in celebration just below us, victorious against their rivals, the Stillman Valley Cardinals, in this conference matchup. Players for both teams will converge and meet out at midfield for the shaking of hands. And on the part of the Tigers, all smiles for the host team from Byron. A 3-0 victory this afternoon and evening for the Byron Tigers. Getting things started in the first half after Stillman Valley controlled the ball for the lion's share of the first 20 to 25 minutes, Delaney Hennert scored on a corner kick. And it was one that caromed off of a Stillman defender at the far post and into the net to make it 1-0. Soon after, it was Delaney Hennert a second time, sending one in to the area and high into the sky this time, and it came down, found the forehead of junior Aaliyah Roshai, who scored on the head ball to make it 2-0, and that was our score at halftime. It was once again Aaliyah Roshai scoring on a head ball in the second half to account for our final score of Byron 3, Stillman Valley 0. And that's all she wrote from Byron. And on this Thursday before Easter, these girls and their coaches, by the way, can enjoy a little bit of time off as no school Friday. Of course, Sunday is Easter, and then no school on Monday. So, ladies, enjoy your 4-day weekend. You've earned it. Again, the final from Byron, the Tigers 3 and the Stillman Valley Cardinals 0. I'd like to once again thank the Byron Boosters for partnering with us, a generous donation recently so that we can soon update our equipment. Thanks to our coaches, players, thanks to Jeff Milburn, the AD. Thanks to our cameramen this evening, Easton Burris and Zeb Gatier. Thanks to the players for a very exciting match. And thanks to you, our listeners and watchers, for being with us along the way. Mrs. Carter, Grandma Henkel, Mrs. Dale, Mr. Wessel, and then Diane Wheeler and Brad Ocker. We were glad to have you along. Oh, and Andy Salo, who checked in with me via a text. And he says, hey, when in Rome, Mr. Salo, it's a little bit of Lou Malnati's pizza. Why not? Enjoy it, my friend, as indeed your daughter and her teammates will enjoy the victory here on the pitch in Byron. Happy Easter, everybody. And again, the final from Byron. The Byron Tigers 3, the Stillman Valley Cardinals 0. This has been a proud presentation of Byron Tigers Live. Good night, everybody.